welcome to the B Team Podcast. I am your host, Josh Safran, with my co-host,
Matt Mars,
and our permanent guest,
Rob Nelson.
We're here every week to talk to you about all things Bentonville, bourbon, and business. The B Team Podcast. Be here. Welcome to the B Team Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Safran, along with my co-host,
Matt Mars.
It's good to have you back in a hat. I didn't recognize you without the hat on last episode.
With the hat day.
It's hat day.
Yeah.
And
everyone. You didn't get the memo?
Nobody told me. Nobody told me anything.
We should have brought him a hat. We should have brought him a blue hat.
I like those hats.
He's got to go had an error of those.
Yeah, well, I don't. So.
I do need a blue hat.
I'll get you one.
Do you have a blue hat?
Yeah.
No, I knew. I'd like one.
Yeah.
You pimp it around town.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sounds like a commitment.
You deserve it.
Done.
Yeah.
Well, we're here every Thursday on all things Bentonville business and bourbon, and we had Barry in on one of our first episodes.
Pretty exciting,
right?
Yeah.
Back in the old studio.
Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you guys are moving up. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Bougie.
Jesus.
And we talked about
Bentonville bougie.
Blue and downtown Rogers and some of the stuff, and you teased us a bit about some new stuff going on. And we said, come back when you have more on the new stuff coming on.
Yeah, pretty exciting stuff.
And today you brought in the masses.
Masses.
Why don't you do some introductions for the group in the room?
Yeah, so I mean, we kind of threw it out there before what we were doing, but we went from with Blue being more seafood. One of the things I've always wanted to create, my favorite food in the world, living in San Francisco and then moving to Bentonville, was Chinese food, and so our concept off the Bentonville Square was always going to be Chinese. In the beginning, we called it Eka, but the name of the restaurant is called Wu Zhao.
Spell it.
And Wu Zhao, W-U Zhao, Z-H-A-O. And what is Wu Zhao? Wu Zhao was the only female emperor of China in the history of China. She was the only female that was ever the emperor.
A history lesson.
And she did, her age when she was there, it prospered. She did incredible things. So that's sort of the direction we went. And today I've got two incredible people that we were just by accident, not accident, but by luck that we got them to come. And I'd like to just give you a little bit of story.
Come to work for you or come to the podcast?
Come to work.
We feel excited. Well, forget if they work for you. We're excited they're on the podcast.
And I think
come to work
like
with
the name
us.
better. I like the new name better.
Yeah. And so how I met the Wolf of Walk Street, which is right here, Mr. Vincent Lind. Believe it or not, all the way from Sydney, Australia. And his partner is with him today, Catherine Zhang. Okay. And I'll just give you a little brief introduction on these two and how we met, because it's important. When we were looking for somebody to be the face of Wu Zhao, I was telling my wife, Allie, I said, man, if we could bring in just an incredible Chinese chef or somebody who could execute what we want, and it would be really cool if we could bring in a celebrity chef that was well known. And this was about a week before. We're laying in bed one night, and she pulls up Vincent's Instagram, and she showed me these videos that he was doing. And I said to her,
gotta have him.
I'm like, that's the guy we need. That's him right there. And she's like, well, Jesus, he's in Sydney, Australia. He's not going to come to Bentonville. And so she DM'd him, and lo and behold, he didn't answer right away.
Shocker. How many followers do you have?
Sorry, my bad.
How many followers do you have?
At the time, I think it was at around 1 million. So, yeah, that was a while back, So, when Barry messaged me, it was just lost and see the messages.
Yeah. So, and anyway, so 4 months later, he gets a ping back to my wife saying, hey, listen, he's answering our call. And I said, well, get his number. And so I got his number, and he answered the phone, and he didn't know anything about Bentonville, Arkansas.
Did you even know where it was on a map?
No idea.
Zero.
Till this day, I tell people, hey, we're going to do a restaurant in Arkansas, and everyone's like, where's Arkansas?
Yeah.
Is that America?
Yeah. And so I sold him on Arkansas. I sold him on Bentonville.
On the phone even before he came?
Oh yeah. Oh, I had.
You're a good salesman.
I had about 20 minutes on my first phone call with him, and trust me, I was selling the whole time. Yeah. And he didn't know where Bentonville, Arkansas was. I told him about the concept, and then I sent him the next few days the concept, and then he was checking out Bentonville on the just through the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, this place is really cool. And what he said to me, he said, your concept is very, very strong. And then we talked some more.
Very. You didn't say very, very, right? I don't want Barry's head to get. You said it was okay.
Yeah. He asked everything.
Look, honestly, I think it was a very strong concept. For me to fly halfway across the world to come over here in the middle of nowhere, that I didn't even know about. I think it was a pretty solid concept. He had this vision, and I think that vision, it required a little bit more. And I always want to do more. Like in Sydney, we've done so many restaurants and pop-ups between me and Catherine that when Barry reached out, it was like a challenge, like I want to do something new and something exciting. And he's so passionate about this project that it makes me want to jump up and down with him, you know what I mean? Like just to
but you
celebrate.
Have to be getting tons of DMs asking you to do stuff all around the world. Like what resonated specifically with Barry and this place in Bentonville?
Look, that's the thing. When he DM'd
he loved
me,
Bentonville. When he he was like, man, this place is awesome.
It was cool, when he sent me a message, the only reason why I replied to him, that's why I think there's a little bit of fate, a little bit of destiny in this, right? Because when I saw his messages, I was stuck on a cruise ship. I was doing an event for a big cruise ship, and we were doing private dining. And there was one bit of the sea where we didn't have reception. I was like, oh, maybe I'll go through the DMs, finally check, up to date, delete the ones I don't want to see. Then I see this guy's message, and I was like, hey, this is kind of interesting. I was like, I'll entertain it, not much to do. Messaged him, and yeah, that was 4 months after it had been said.
Yeah.
So that went through, hopped on a phone call, and I was like, okay, all right, let's try it, right? Let's take a risk. I didn't get to where I am today without taking risks. So I thought it was a perfect opportunity. After he explained everything to me, I was like, let's do it. And that's why I came here.
So awesome.
Yeah. And so are you living here full time?
No, so I'm living in Sydney full time, but we're kind of all over the place. So we're doing little restaurants and pop-ups and stuff like that. Just prior to here, we were in Singapore, we were in Malaysia, we went to Vietnam. But yeah, just everywhere really at the moment. That's what social media has kind of done for us. It's kind of gone global. So we're able to do a lot of things that we've never done before, and just be at different places learning new things every single day.
My son, who's 18, who used to work for Barry and Blue, he introduced me to you because he goes, Dad, you got to see this video. The ship's coming in. He's got millions of Instagram followers. So you impressed my teenage son, which I can't even impress. So that was really cool. And then this other young lady now. So which
was really cool. And when Vincent said, "Hey, listen, I'm bringing my partner," and he said, you might know her. She won the Netflix series season 2, Just Desserts, and at the age of 19 years old, she beat everybody. And so this is Catherine Zhang, and she's also part of the team. She'll be designing our desserts at Wu Zhao. And that's exciting. She's done.
So you guys are a package deal? You guys are working for with Barry together?
Yeah, so in Australia, we do business together. We created the world's most TikTok crepe, and we do a couple of events throughout the year. And I just thought, when Barry gave me this, big request to create this, menu, to build this restaurant with him, I was like, hey, I've got the perfect person for this to do the desserts. When I came to Bentonville, I rode around on my electric bicycle, and I was like, hey, there's not many desserts, right? You have that ice cream shop down the road. I think there's a coffee place that does a little bit of cakes and stuff like that. But I was like, there isn't a place that does desserts like we do it. Mm. And I thought that was the perfect opportunity. Pitched Catherine to Barry. Yeah. Barry was like, next flight, bring Catherine. Don't even ask for people on. He's like, yeah, the flights are booked. You guys are both coming.
Her desserts that she creates are from that brain right there, and she doesn't. These are just incredibly her desserts are amazing. That's all I can say.
Give me your best dessert. Just tell me what's your specialty.
Well, I mean, we had a pop-up, or actually we have a shop in Australia and a food truck that we usually do. It's called Karepu, which, as you explained before, was the world's most TikTok crepe. So it's kind of like a Japanese-style crepe, but we kind of elevated it, made it really nice with like all these different toppings, and it just looks really pretty. And so that's kind of like our signature.
Come on, you got to show them a photo.
How can the audience go and see all the desserts and stuff? Because
Yeah, so our desserts is on Kurepu Crepes, Kurepu crepes.
okay,
Yeah, you'll be able to find it
Hold
all
that up right in front of the camera.
If it decides to load,
on the Australian
There you go.
internet. So here, why don't you scroll?
so
Pull up the world's most
I'll show
TikTok
you.
crepes so they can
Sour
see.
crepes look like this. So they're like Japanese style.
They're amazing.
Very
Yeah.
fun. And we kind of just do like a lot of pop-ups. Yeah, store in Perth. Yeah.
There you go.
So this one is our watermelon pink star. This is like our most popular one. And then we've
And that's going to be on the menu here?
we can't say what's going to be on the menu.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were going to break some news today.
Wait till we open. Her desserts are going to blow you away. So
Do you have an opening date yet?
wow,
Soon, before the end of the year?
end of December maybe.
Ooh, feel like a big holiday party. Big holiday soft opening.
Yeah.
I see a New Year's Eve party for sure.
And then you hired new team
Absolutely.
as well. I didn't know you worked with these guys. These are good people.
I've been trying to get Adam for a long
good
time.
people.
So when Adam came available, I'd reached out to him a couple months ago to come into the Blue Group and to be the general manager of all the restaurants.
I didn't know this until yesterday. That's exciting.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah,
Very exciting.
he's more than he's worked with in LA. He's worked with some huge talent: Mary Jo Blige, Robin Thicke. So he's this is nothing.
Now we've got Barry. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
of course.
filling you right in.
He's moving up. So we're exciting. I just for me to be partners with our group, all of these people here, we have an extraordinary team, and it's exciting to. We're just excited to open the doors and get rolling.
I'm gonna be honest, and no offense to Lynn Garden. Like
Yeah.
Lynn's Garden is the Chinese place in town, and so like it's like the place. And I don't know if you guys have been in there, but it's not this by any
free
stretch.
vodka, though.
So Lynn's Garden is like an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet. Have you
Yeah.
been in there before?
Yeah.
And so like you go in there, it's like $20, and you fill your plate up to here, and you're sick for like 4 days after because of the food. So I'm like, I'm from New York. So I'm like, we need some good, authentic Asian food.
Oh,
And like,
it's coming.
I'm dying to try this food. Like this,
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of excited about the desserts now.
no desserts tonight.
no desserts today. We'll have
Mary's
to wait a
keeping
little
that tight,
longer.
tight lip on
Wait till we
desserts.
open our doors. It's yeah.
So Vincent, what do we have here today?
Okay, so today, this is the Zhao fried rice. Okay, this is our signature fried rice that we're going to do for the restaurant. It's still in R&D. I think so what's happening here right now is I'm still finding all the ingredients. So there's specific ingredients, right? Like I'm very particular just in terms of soy sauce, right? I can't just use any soy sauce. If you want to create that authentic flavor, I've got to find that right soy sauce so you get that right smell, that right fragrance. That, as soon as you guys walk into the room with the plate, you can smell that fried rice.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm still missing 2 ingredients in that, but right now this is the Zhao fried rice. It's got crab, it's got scallops in there. So we've got dried scallops, we've got prawns, eggs, and it's in a dark XO sauce.
Let's try it.
Matt, what do you think?
Let's do your warehouse. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So the next dish here, this is my a very popular dish that I've had in my restaurant for a number of years.
It smells so good.
Yeah, this is a hot and spicy squid.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
It smells incredible.
I'm gonna hold this one out.
Thank you.
And that squid was fried about 45 minutes ago, and if I've done it right, it should still be crispy.
Sounds very crispy.
From the sauce that comes with this. Did you mention what the sauce is?
Oh, so sorry, the sauce is so it's a spicy mayo. So
Whoa. Get less food after you there.
you didn't grab a little bit?
Spicy man.
Okay. Yeah, it's a spicy mayo with a little bit of topico in there. So flying fish roe.
I'm gonna just dip this in there, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it, man. That's how you're supposed to eat it.
And we don't need to beat around the bush.
Nah, not at all, not at all.
So this is squid.
Yeah.
Really good.
So out of 1 out of 10, with 1 being terrible. This is like a 12.
Jeez.
Like, well,
Thank you.
the spice, the taste, the crunch.
I love the spice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so these recipes right now, because our restaurant's not fully, built yet, the kitchen's not completely ready, I've had to cook this out of our studio. So, it's I don't have the proper equipment and everything, but once we have all the wok burners in there, it should go from a 12 to about a 14.
It's going to get better than this?
Yeah, I hope so. That's the goal,
Well, and if it's 40, it's amazing, and it's 45 minutes ago you made it.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's
Yeah, pretty amazing.
The fried rice, very light, like very super tasty. Barry, those are your shrimp from Blue?
Yeah, these are wild shrimp from the ocean, #1 prawns.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. So these are going to be appetizers or are these going to be main dishes, or we're not that far yet?
Sorry, appetizers. What do you guys call appetizers? Appetizers veins
course?
in America?
First
Is that the first course?
First course, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that would be a main. The squid would be a main. So how I see it is, you would order something like this that's like crispy and fried and a little bit spicy. Then you would order something that's like a pepper steak that's sizzling. So you got a little bit of sauce that goes over your rice. And you order like a lemon chicken that's, a little bit tangy, a little bit crunchy, And
This
then
is the best squid I've ever had.
it's amazing.
This is absolutely amazing. I'm serious.
Have you not had
This
this
is the
before?
best. No, I haven't tried it. No, this
No,
is
it's the
something.
first time I've cooked it for them.
I've had something similar. That this is completely different than anything that I've ever eaten in squid. Wow,
It's not a heavy fry. It's like a lighter.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flavors that you bring out in.
So everything I try to do,
Wow.
because Chinese food is very oily, right? I want to be a little bit more health conscious when I'm frying, right? So we fry at a very, very high temp on this wok burner, which goes to almost like 300 degrees. So then when you fry, I don't know if you know much about oil, but when oil is hot, it's a lot thinner. So when it's thinner and you fry, there's less oil that gets kept in the squid, so it comes out more. So you won't taste the oiliness, and you won't really feel sick the next day.
I mean, that
It's
is
amazing.
Yeah, really, really good.
I mean, if this is the not as good as you could do, I can't imagine what it's going to be like.
He's
Good, I'm
cooked
glad.
other dishes for us that'll just blow you away. I mean, when we open our doors, it's going to be something.
Yeah.
that is-
So how are you going to decide on the menu? I mean, it sounds like you got a ton of choices.
Well, we went. He's taken some of his classics that he's created. We've got a little bit of flavor of seafood in it, but he essentially has created the menu. It's got his name all over it, and so that's when you taste some of these dishes, it'll blow you away. These are
Are you going to be here part time, and then are you going to train the staff on how to
Yeah.
recreate all the stuff that all your brilliance?
100%. So my restaurant that I had in Sydney, I had for 7 years. And how I would run it is I would make sure there's certain things in a Chinese restaurant that must be perfected. All right. The stuff need to be on top of those certain things. And when those things they're on top of, like, for example, Chinese stock, that's one of the really big ones. The batter for all these like prawns and squid and everything, and the marinades for the beef. Once you have that down packed and they understand it like how I would understand it, they should be able to cook exactly like how I cook.
So you'll be teaching, training,
I'll be
showing?
teaching and training, so I'll be here like probably 8 times a year, just trying to make sure that everybody knows exactly what they're doing. And, we'll have somebody here that's constantly managing the place to make sure that it's always on point. And a lot of times, because I've been in the industry for so long, that if Barry were to just send me a video on how the food is cooked, I'll know what they're doing wrong and what they're doing right. I won't even need to taste it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, and then will the menu be changing all the time, or will it kind
I'd say
of
so.
stay?
I'd say so, because we have a lot of like, right now I'm only putting in about like 5% of the dishes I like to put in. My restaurant previously, I had over 300 items on the menu.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, but that's with me cooking in there, you know what I mean? So,
some cheesecake.
yeah. Yeah, so like I'd like to, always rotate it. Like, we've got special dishes right now. I cooked it for Barry last time. He really enjoyed it. Which was like
Is that
black
lobster?
pepper lobster. Yeah, the black pepper lobster noodles.
Yeah.
That's one of our signatures, and I think it's gonna go
Still have
really
dreams
well.
about it. It was that
Black pepper lobster noodles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got a burnt butter, oh my God, what am I saying? It's got a burnt buttered like egg noodles down the bottom, which is pan fried, and then you've got the pepper lobster on top. So
I got to give you credit. I mean, you bring these two from halfway around the world to Bentonville.
There was a lot of luck, and there was fate that brought us together. So,
well, and it has to like have revived you because like you've
exciting.
done this your whole life selling this, and now you're tasting this stuff, and you're like,
absolutely. It's made the whole the creating of Wu Zhao so much easier, so much more exciting to know that they're on our team.
Yeah,
he's part owner in the company. He loves Bentonville. His plans, he doesn't have to come back as much as this. But we've had talks. He loves Bentonville. Yeah. He said, "Listen, you'll see his face around quite a bit.
He'll be connected to Bentonville.
We're trying to get him to buy a house.
Yeah.
Trying to get him to buy a house here. Yeah. So well, if the right deal comes along, I'm going to be putting it in.
Usually you don't like with the. I love that you're doing the desserts because usually with most Asian style restaurants or Chinese restaurants, you never really have. Yeah. Like a lot of the stuff looks good, but it doesn't taste good, and it's real super basic. So I think, it's you said it. There aren't a lot of places that have really good desserts that you would just go would go to just get dessert. With these style desserts.
A lot of the restaurants, even some of the big name restaurants, famous restaurants, you go in and a lot of the desserts are like just. You see the same thing.
It's like an afterthought instead of what you have.
Believe me, when we see the doors.
That's actually the main reason why I partnered together with Catherine. I find that a lot of chefs around the world, right, they'll be very good at the savory stuff, right? They'll focus a lot on the mains, appetizers, entrees. But the desserts, they'll put out a cheesecake or a mousse, right? Just for convenience so that the kitchen can push it out. But the big difference partnering with Catherine is that she'll put a lot of thought and effort into the dessert. And I'll put a lot of effort and thought into the savory side, right? So when we mesh together, a lot of times when we do something, it's 9 times out of 10, it's always working because we just have that chemistry. It works out really well.
That's a beautiful thing. That makes me excited right there. What he just said, I got goosebumps. I'm like, okay, let's get this door open.
Yeah, because come on. A lot of times when you have two chefs, they're competing against each other. Whereas you guys are like, you mesh well together, and you
I agree.
You complement each other instead of trying to make your own name. So
I think that there's a lot of cool new restaurants that are opening, and I've been to many of them, and it's like, it's really good, but there's always a but.
Yeah.
If you have this talent with you and the location that you guys have and the food that we tasted today,
it's exciting.
When I saw on Instagram on the dessert, like. This is a home run, Barry. This is an absolute home run.
Yeah.
I mean, and if somebody said to me, "Hey, we're opening another Mexican place," I go, "Good luck." There's on the square alone, there's a Mexican place or barbecue. Is it right? There's a new barbecue place opening right next door to you. It's like, all right.
Yeah. This concept is so unique, so strong with what they bring to the table that
there's nothing like this here.
Nope.
No, this is food that I don't know many people that wouldn't like to have. It's just that food that you always you go somewhere, you're like, I know I can find something great here. And then you taste it and it's...
Well, like you're talking about him getting revitalized, like him selling me on this place. He was just so excited about explaining everything and telling me about everything. And like I could just see the passion that he had.
Yeah.
He's like, this is just going to be incredible. And then once I met these two and we're going over the menu yesterday, or can't believe the day, 2 days ago. I was just like, this is going to be like...
I've known you from, I remember from Blue when you went to Aoi, and then you did the one on the lake, and then you did Detour, and you were always excited, but I've never seen you like this.
No.
I've never seen you like this.
So I'm waking up 5:36 trying to get this place open.
You know why? Because he's not going to be back there in the kitchen.
I'll be delivering a lot of seafood.
Exactly.
We're partnering up with a couple other people, like with the pork. Rowdy out at the Bear Hollow, he's got this specific pork. This it's almost like Iberia from Spain, but it's the highest quality pork you can get, and they're raising them just 25 minutes north of town. So there's some pork in the dishes. We're using that. It's.
Yeah, I think that's so smart because that's what everyone wants now. They want local stuff.
Yep.
And stuff that's
The pork,
harder
the
to
pork,
get.
the pork
I mean,
is
we're
called
the same with our booze.
mule foot pork.
Yeah.
Is what it's called.
So again, it's outside of your seafood, which will be local. Like everything else, you can try and do homegrown.
Yeah, I mean, we
farm
got
to table as
you
best
know,
as you can.
absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I mean, it's for farm to table, ocean to table.
Yeah. And you have the best location where you guys
Pretty awesome.
spotted.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, I think using all this like local ingredients and sea to table, farm to table, right? Plus all the sauces that we use, right? That we're using high quality stuff. We're using premium soy. We're using premium, like everything is literally premium oyster sauce that's like extracted and has very little like salt content. When you combine the two together, it can't be bad. Like it's, when you're using a 10 plus and a 10 plus joined together, it's definitely going to be good. And like that's the thing.
So a hard question for you. The new restaurants coming in, I think they're struggling with, I want to cater to the South, Northwest Arkansas, so I don't want to price like big cities.
yeah.
But you have people with big city expectations when they go into the restaurants. Have you started thinking through how you're going to price this menu as compared to other things that you're doing right now?
Yeah, and me and Vincent have talked about that quite a bit. He'll explain too, but extremely reasonable, super high quality at reasonable prices, and that's right from then.
See, I think my opinion, and I just from the restaurants I go to, if the quality is good and the serving size is good, I don't think you should get too caught up in pricing. I think people will pay. There's a couple restaurants that have opened that the pricing was high, but it wasn't a large quantity of food. Other ones that opened up trying to be premium and then priced it, I think, too low. So I think you could push the envelope.
You're going to get some good sized plates.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm trying to understand. From Australia, right? Like, everyone's serving little portions. I come over here, order a fajita, and I'm like, holy cow. I'm going to feed my whole family.
And that's what people down here are used to, like a massive portion. And so they go to these bougie restaurants and they get a $60 plate with like one bite each.
Yeah.
This ain't for me.
Not worth it, right? Like, it tastes good. That one bite tastes good, but $60 is a lot of money for one bite.
Correct.
Yeah. So, like, we've talked about that quite a bit, actually. Yeah. Trying to understand that right balance. Because the thing is, like, with Chinese food, it's a shared meal, So you're ordering a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You want to make sure that the whole table has a bite at least, all right? Like, you can have a little bit here, a little bit there. Instead of like, oh, wait, there's only 4 pieces of prawns on there. What's the other 2 going to eat, right?
Yeah.
So we're very conscious of that. We're trying to, like, just make sure that we have enough.
I love that. My favorite Chinese food dish growing up was the poo-poo platter. Are you familiar with the poo-poo platter?
I have no idea what that is. I surely know how to be Chinese.
That must be an East Coast
Chinese. So they bring out like egg roll and shrimp toast and all these little things, and then they'd have like a fire and you kind of cook your own at the fire. Barry, clearly that's not in the thought process. Adam,
Hey, don't do the poop.
That sounds like that sounds more like Korean
we're just brainstorming. We're throwing ideas out. We're poo-pooing the poo-poo platter.
I don't think the menu's gonna have poo in here.
I'm out. I can't go. No poo-poo platter. I have to go to Lynn's Garden for the poo-poo platter.
Yeah, the biggest thing to me was seeing what he's bringing in, these giant wok. I mean, you should see the equipment that's coming in. And he's got this dim sum steamer, dumpling steamer. So he's going to have dim sum. I don't think you've even mentioned that part.
You haven't even mentioned that dim sum, but it was funny because the best woks that are being made from this company out of Los Angeles. And about 5 weeks ago, I call the guy and I tell him who I'm involved with. And he's like, oh, the Wolf of Wok Street? You're doing these are being made for him? Vincent Lim? And I'm like, yeah. He said, listen, I've got Gordon Ramsay's woks that we're making. And he goes, normally we're on about a 10 to 12 week turnaround time. We got our woks in 3 weeks.
Hold on, did he get bumped ahead of?
Yeah. We got
So cool.
We got our woks in 3 weeks.
So now these
woks are unbelievable. They're the best woks made in America. So
now, is it going to be to where, like, can people watch them cook, or how is that going to be?
So we've got something very unique, which we didn't say too much about, that nobody really is doing. So we'll have dim sums being made where you're in the restaurant. When you walk in, we'll have an individual lady sitting there making fresh dim sums all day long, right there. And so we've got the same company that made this incredible wok, made us the dim sum steamer. So, of course, he kind of coached me. He told me exactly what he wanted. He wanted 14-inch this and that and everything else, and I maybe went a little bit more overboard.
I was like, yeah, one 30-inch will be enough, and this guy comes back with 2. I was like, okay, sure, why not?
Now, and then like the desserts, is that something that'll be interactive, or will that be?
Yeah, always. So every dessert that we ever come up with, it's always interactive, right?
Because that's what makes it fun. Like, social media and everything
100%.
right now is 100%.
So we do a lot of things that's very interactive. So like in Sydney, for example, we've done a glow in the dark dessert.
Glow in the dark.
Glow in the dark. So we've done like desserts that are that was super viral, right? When we first opened our dessert store, actually, for the first 3 months, we had a 6-hour line every single day.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was
It's
too much.
ridiculous, right? So we opened I think we kind of passed the legal limit of what time you can open.
Yeah,
we were training until 5 a.m. in the morning. We're doing that vibe, right? Like it's crazy, you know. So I think it'll be super fun. We're gonna make it very exciting. You know, whether it's like it catches on fire or like, you know, there's something that you can do to it to Instagram it, or, you know, on the whole town talking about it. You know what I mean? Like that dessert is going to be that thing where you have that amazing meal, and then you're like, hey, you know, let's have the dessert to finish it off. But that dessert's going to be something that you're going to remember.
Yeah. Well, I think, and again, a lot of the restaurants here, it's like, I don't have room for dessert. Just show me the menu. I think people hearing me, hold on, I got to leave some room. Because it sounds like what's going to be here is going to be one of a kind.
Yeah. I mean, when we were doing menu planning yesterday, and Catherine was just talking about desserts, you know, the things that she's created and the things that are already going in her brain are absolutely incredible. And so it's going to...
We got to get open faster.
What tell me about it?
Why did we take him away from eating at the restaurant?
You could have been there working. You could have been hammering.
We could have eaten all this while you were gone.
Come there at 5:30, you see me. I might be sweeping the floors.
That's right.
Or we're doing flooring.
All right, Baron. Biggest question.
Yeah.
What's the bar menu going to look like?
The bar menu is going to be incredible. So it's we've got 35 different sakes, many different types of bourbons. Of course, got to throw the bourbons in there. We'll have extensive tequila, but we have a 25-foot bar and a lounge. So it'll be exciting.
Come on, you got to tell them about the tree.
Yeah. So.
He always likes the whole...
Barry's trying to hold stuff back.
He's definitely trying to hold stuff back.
My life is gone. What else do we got?
Sorry, well, the not just the menu, the desserts, and it's exciting, but we also, when you come in there and you see the whole design of the restaurant, we've got 2 trees going in. They're coming next week inside the restaurant. And then
these are living live trees?
Well, you'll see. So, and so what we did is, when I went out to Eureka, out to the quarry out there, some of the incredible stone that you see in all the old buildings came from this quarry out by Eureka. And so the guy his name is Joel, who's one of the artists, but he takes this rock, this $700 million old rock from the bottom, this creamstone. So the restaurant will have trees, it'll have rock from the quarries in Eureka, and the feel of this whole restaurant is going to be really something.
I'm excited.
You're gonna feel like you're back in New York.
I feel like we're all gonna get a Christmas present when you. Yeah. Maybe you can open it.
I hope so. I just hope we make the cut for the VIP opening party.
Yeah.
Make sure we get an introduction. I don't hear from Barry unless he needs to be on the podcast. We'll need.
That's fun.
Yeah, you know, like that's the main thing I like about Barry. Okay, like I've worked with lots of people around the world. Okay, and like Barry will sacrifice tables that can make money and put a tree in the middle for the vibe and the ambience of the restaurant. You know, that's something that not a lot of restaurant owners can do. You know, like they want to fit in as many tables as they can to make back the money as fast as they can, right? But Barry's going for the vibe. He's going for the energy of the place to make sure that everything is in sync. You know, and that's the reason why I hopped on board with him.
There's nobody in this town that will. If this was you guys with Bob Smith, I'd be like, well, I'm sure you guys are amazing. Like this combination with him and what he's done and who he knows and the way he thinks about people. If I call Barry and say, Barry, I need a favor. We're doing something for a charity. He goes, tell me how much shrimp you need and when. And like he just does that. Yeah. And so you're working with a first class individial. And now he's brought Adam on board. Like there's no flaws in this program. This is going to be a grand slam home run.
Thank you, Josh.
I just can't wait to open.
That was sweet. Who's that butterfly?
Serious when Adam's your boat.
Anything you guys want to plug? Anything you guys want to plug? Anything you want to any of your followers? Anything your Instagram page, your TikTok? Anything?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you guys want to follow us, Catherine is Catherine with a C. .desserts. You can follow her on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. What else?
Pretty much it.
That's it. And for me, I'm the same. I'm on all the platforms. My username's DimSimLim, DimSimLim. And yeah, we've got a book coming out, and we've got our seasoning online. That's finally for sale.
Amazing.
We're excited to have you here. I don't know how you pulled it off to get him here.
Like I said, luck and fate.
But
I mean, I feel lucky to have him with us.
Thank you.
But it's like, see, you guys, you make some amazing food, and I can't wait to try that. I'm a little disappointed we don't have any dessert here to finish off.
Sorry, next time.
You'll have to wait till we open.
Barry will change anything. Barry's like, don't even make anything.
I can't light anything on fire in this last year.
Exactly.
thank you guys. It was a pleasure to meet you. Barry, thanks for coming back. Adam,
appreciate it.
I'm glad you're part of this team.
Yeah.
Well done. Cheers.
Wu Zhao.
Wu Zhao. Welcome.
Cheers.